What's up, y'all? It's JDT Media here, and today we're going to be talking about something that's become very impossible to ignore, especially if you watch sports, and that's the explosion of sports betting. But more specifically, we're going to be focused on whether or not sports media outlets are crossing any ethical boundaries by promoting it. Let's get into it. To be honest, gambling has been around forever. Even ancient Greece betted on dice, boxing, and even chariot racing. Now, I don't want to bore you with a history lesson, but I do think it's important to know how we got here. In 1931, Nevada Governor Fred Balzar legalized gambling in order to combat the Great Depression. But the real shit happened in 2018, when the Supreme Court legalized sports betting nationwide. Since then, the industry has absolutely taken off. I mean, the numbers are crazy. The American Gaming Association reported that Americans legally bet $166.94 billion in 2025, which was an 11% increase from 2024. And with apps like PrizePicks, FanDuel, Underdog, Sleeper, and DraftKings, sports betting has gotten so much easier. But that's not the only reason why sports betting is booming the way it is. Sports media has become a major catalyst. If you watch ESPN, Fox, CBS, and NBC, really any major sports network, you probably notice how often they display betting odds during live segments and in pregame shows. Some even have full betting sections on their websites. They run promos for betting apps and even partner with them. They also push the content on YouTube. So the question becomes, are they informing us or are they persuading us? Because when the sports media outlet is reporting odds and getting paid by betting companies, it's fair to wonder if the line between journalism and advertising is becoming blurry. Now, sports betting is legal in most states, so technically, sports media outlets do have the right to profit off of it. And journalists who cover betting still have a responsibility to be accurate and keep information updated. But there's also another responsibility, and that's minimizing harm. Even if journalists aren't telling you to bet, constantly showing odds, promos, or can't miss offers can encourage gambling behavior, especially for those who are susceptible to addiction. So yes, it is legal, but legality does not mean ethical. In a dilemma such as this, you have stakeholders, or winners or losers. For the first stakeholder, we have the journalists and the analysts, and they are met with new job opportunities, but they also risk being seen as promoters instead of reporters. Second, we have adults. Betting can make sports more exciting and even can be profitable, but it can also lead to stress, addiction, and financial problems. At third, we have younger audiences, and it's really hard to see how they could be winners in this situation because they're exposed to gambling at an early age before they can even participate.
What's going on currently now is that we're getting people in as young as 16 years old.
And that can potentially lead to risky behavior. At fourth, we have the media companies, and they can make a lot of money from betting partnerships and increase viewership, but they also can be seen as promoting unhealthy habits. Then lastly, we have the athletes and the leagues, and they could get more engagement and more endorsements, but athletes face a lot of harassment from angry bettors who are mad about someone selling their parlay, and I know y'all see that a lot. So the impact is quite real. There are real winners and there are real losers. But what's driving this? Sports media outlets have to balance two major values: profit and trust. There's no denying that betting partnerships are a gold mine. Last year in 2025, NBC Universal struck a deal with DraftKings that's estimated to be about $500 million. And then on the other hand, we have trust. Audiences expect unbiased and truthful reporting. But if media outlets keep pushing gambling too hard, they risk losing credibility. No arguing at all that these companies or sports media outlets need money. But when profit becomes the priority, trust can take a hit. And once trust is gone, it's really hard to get back. At the end of the day, whether sports media is being ethical depends on how you feel about gambling in the first place. If you see gambling as harmless, when paired with age limits, disclaimers, and responsible gaming tools, then it might seem fine. But if you see gambling as potentially harmful, then the constant promotion might make it feel like a real concern. But you have to take into account that these sports media outlets and betting apps view us as autonomous, meaning we are free to choose what we want to do. So if you sign up for betting apps, then it kinda is what it is. But the reality of the situation is, a lot of these sports media outlets and betting apps are making millions and billions of dollars off of people who possibly have addictions. Who's to say is it right or wrong? Are they just doing their job? Are they crossing ethical boundaries? What you think? Peace.